Prateek, and I will be providing you with a high-level overview of the project that we have been working on. The name of the project is Nanto Tetris, cumulated by Shimon Shoke and Neom Nation. The theoretical objective of the project is to bring together several key components such as the operating system, data structures, algorithm, hardware, and architecture so that we have a ground-up understanding of how the computer works in general. We've taken a segmented approach in building this project with several small projects, which when brought together gives us a computer with a virtual machine running on it. This project can, however, be taken further to build a complete general purpose computer that is capable of running games such as Tetris or Minecraft. The first 6 projects are built using a hardware description language, HDL, and can be run on a hardware simulator. Rather than building a hardware platform, using physical parts, we built it using abstractions and software-based hardware simulation. The next 2 projects can be built using high-level language, but we are going to use a direct Java derivative called JAG. We work on 8 specific unit-tested projects stacked on top of each other to give us the final project. The detailed explanation of each project is going to come further. I would be providing you with a high-level overview of each project. The first project that we have worked on is Boolean logic. This project engages us in building elementary logic gates and specific NAND gates that go about becoming the building block of the general purpose computer. The next project is Boolean arithmetic. In this project, we build the fundamentals of the ALU, which is the heart of the computer. Further on, we go about building the sequential logic. In this project, we aim at building the RAM of the computer, which is the main memory unit of the hack computer. We focus on using sequential logic to develop persistent storage of information. Next, we work on the machine language programming. In this project, we use low-level programming that will be further passed on to the assembler to be converted to binary code. And finally, we worked on computer architecture. This project accumulates all the previous projects that includes the RAM and the ALU to build out a general purpose computer capable of running low-level programs.
Starting with our working model and its implementation, I, Rashmi Tekkat, will be covering Project 1, Elementary Logic Gates, Project 2, Arithmetic Logic Unit, and Project 3, Registers and Memory. So what you see on screen now is a hardware simulator. It is the platform on which our project primarily works on. There are 2 ways in which we can simulate our lines of code into it. Our course of action will be such that for Project 1, we will be taking an example of interactive simulation method wherein we load the HDL file into the program and interactively test all sorts of operations on this. And in Project 2, we will be taking an example of script-based implementation method in which we write a file using another language which we call the testing language. Here we put together a set of replicable tests that are predetermined. Our Project 1, that is elementary logic gates, and as said earlier, we will be using the interactive simulation method here. To understand the implementation of our project, we take a simple example of XOR gate. Input pins are 2, A and B, and the output pin is only 1 out. The internal pins include A and not B and not A and B. Coming back to our hardware simulator, now under the interactive simulation method, first we have to load our chip. So over here we will load our xor.hdl file which we had written. So here we can change the value of A to 1 and B to 0 and we can run it. So the output gets changed to 1 over here and the internal pins conditions on the change of input pins A and B are also specified over here. Moving on to our next project, Project 2, Arithmetic Logic Unit. So on screen we can see a simplified diagram of our ALU. So our ALU operates on 2 16-bit input pins X and Y and outputs one 16-bit pin which is denoted by out. It also outputs 2 1-bit values. Now some of the functions implemented by our ALU gives the output of not y, minus y, x plus 1, x plus y and so on. Now at one given time ALU computes only one function. So which function to compute is set by 6 1-bit inputs of zx, nx, zy, ny, f and no. On different combinations of these 6 1-bit inputs, we get different output values. So first we will load our chip, that is the ALU chip which we have constructed. So this is our ALU chip. So to construct or write the HTML file for ALU, we used all the logic gates that we had already developed in our project 1, so it was made simpler for us. So as we see, the ALU circuit is a little bit more complex, unlike the previous XOR example taken up. So because we're going to use a script-based simulation method, we'll have to load the test script over here. So test script is nothing but a series of commands to the simulator. Now once the HTML file is loaded, we observe the results of each batch of commands one by one. So this is one batch of commands. Every batch of commands ends with a semicolon. So we will directly jump onto an example. Let's jump onto an example where we want to compute the value of x plus y. So from the table shown in the Word file, we say that for the output of x plus y, we need to set the inputs of zx as 0, nx as 0, zy as 0, ny as 0, f as 1, and no as 0. So when we run this, we will get an output of x plus y. Yeah, so the x value is given as 0 and the y value is given as -1. So the output we get is x plus y as -1. So this is an example of script-based simulation method of an ALU. Project 3 deals with registers and memory. We can see RAM 8, RAM 64, RAM 512. RAM 8 is an 8 register RAM. So we start with RAM 8 chip as this is the most fundamental block to understand the structure and working of the bigger RAMs. This is because if we stack 8 such RAM 8s, we get one RAM 64. And similarly, if we stack 8 such RAM 64s, we get a RAM 512 and so on. Here we understand the working of an 8 register RAM. As you can see, I've already loaded the HTML file and the test script to save time. So in an 8 register RAM, we send info to registers simultaneously, but only one is given as an output, and it is selected using mux and demux functionality. That is the reason in the implementation part we have a demux and a mux functionality, and all the registers are given that is fed with values simultaneously. So now we're going to run the test script to see the output values for different sets of inputs. So we can view the output here directly to actually compare and understand. So these are the output values coming in for different values of input of in, load, and address. So as specified earlier, it is easier to proceed with the bigger RAMs if we actually understand the fundamental concept of working of RAM 8. So this is the reason we started and implemented RAM 8 for understanding of project 3. So that's all for project 1, 2, and 3.
Greetings, sir. This is Sanjana, and I would like to proceed with the next project. Project 4 involves machine language programming and its basic elements to get acquainted with the Hack Computer platform. While working on this, we have visualized the translation from symbolic language to machine language and its execution on the target hardware platform using the CPU emulator. With the understanding, we have written and tested .asm files for two low-level programs. The first one computes the product of two values stored in the register R0 and R1 of the random access memory and stores the product in the R2 register. In order to test it, we have loaded the program into the emulator, and now in order to test it manually, we enter two random values into the registers. And run. We see that the product 4 into 312 has been stored in the R2 register. This also can be tested using the test script provided by NantoTetris. We see that the test script has been executed without any errors. Similarly, the second program is an interactive program that listens to the keyboard. This is the program written in Notepad and saved to the .asm file. Now we load it into the emulator. We need to test it manually, and hence once we run it, there are no changes in the screen. But according to the program, when a key is pressed in the keyboard, the screen will turn to black. Hence, Both the programs have been successfully implemented and tested. Next is Project 5, which deals with computer architecture to build a general purpose computer that can run programs written in Hack machine language. We understood the implementation of the CPU chip and the memory chip and tested both the HDL files using the compare and test files provided. We then completed the code of the computer chip. In order to test the topmost chip, that is the computer, we run some previously understood sample Hack machine language programs. To do so, we first open the hardware simulator, load the computer chip. We immediately can see the GUI of the built-in chips part of this chip. First program to be tested is the rectangle program that displays a rectangle of specified length on top left of the screen. We load the hack file into the ROM of the computer. We then enter the specified length required into the RAM, which is 50 here. As we click run, we can see the rectangle appear here. Hence, the program is successful. The next program is to calculate the max of the two numbers in register R0 and R1 of the RAM. We have followed the same steps, loaded the computer file into the hardware simulator, then the hack file into the ROM and entered two random numbers in the registers. When we run it, we see that the maximum of the two numbers is stored in the R2 register. In this case, it's 5. Hence, the program is successful. The last program is to add two numbers, that is the constants 2 and 3, and write the result in the register. In order to test this, instead of doing it manually, we do it with the help of the test script provided. We load the test script and run. We see that the value 5 is stored in the output pin. Hence, the program is successful. With this, we have tested all the three programs and now we have a running hack computer. With this, we have come to an end of the hardware part of the project. Thank you.